All right, welcome to Political Voice on VOP this morning. The president right now is inaugurating his cabinet. Well, last night we saw the president make an announcement of adjustment of the cabinet appointees, and there was a reshuffling. Well, the president reassigned some of his ministers and added the creation of the Ministry of the Niger Delta Affairs, which hadn't been there initially. And we've seen Abubakar Momo going up now to swear the oath along with some others, John Eno, Beta Edu, and also take pictures with the president. Well, they are coming in batches of 5. And yes, well, we hear that the priority focus of the federal government will be on the economy and security. Well, top presidency sources have said that appointees will be guided by the 8-point agenda of the president as stated in his election manifesto. It was further learned that the president might set targets and performance index for the cabinet members in order to create an immediate impact on the economy, security, and other key areas. And of course, that's what Nigerians want to know. Are they going to have targets? We need something to judge them by. All right. So, well, the president is believed to be determined to build on the achievement of his predecessor in the areas of blue economy, security, job creation, and anti-corruption. Well, today, well, the president, you know that last Wednesday he unveiled the portfolio of 45 ministers 9 days after they were confirmed by the Senate. Well, like his predecessor, the president will head the petroleum ministry, while a former senator, Anakin Lokobiri, will be the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. Oh, well, I have with me in the studio Cyril Abaku. Cyril, we have been watching the swearing in there.
Yeah.
They're taking their oath of office. And one of the things I pick out from the one I watched, where part of the lines there was, I will not allow my personal interest to influence my decision. That's part of the things that they swore in their oath. Let's judge by previous, previous antecedents, previous, those that have occupied offices. Have they been found wanting in their oath of office? Haven't they been found wanting?
More than 80% of the people who are swearing this oath today have either been commissioners or governors or substantively ministers in the past. And one way or the other, we've seen where our country is today. They are not strangers to these oath-taking ceremonies, which have become mere rituals, really, because over time people take this oath, go into office, definitely. In fact, for a number of persons, becoming a minister is the fulfillment of a personal ambition. I mean, becoming a governor, if it wasn't personal ambition, what was it in the first place? But where they've not been able to allow their personal interest to override, where they've not been able to, it's rare in our climate to see a minister, a governor, a commissioner who has not allowed his personal interest to interfere and override the corporate interest. And I think that's where Nigeria's malaise and rot has really hung. The fact that we've had people in government, and this is not just about the executive arm of government, even the legislative arm of government, senators, reps, members, and state assembly members who come into office ostensibly, to make things better, and then eventually you hear that they awarded a contract to the tune of so and so to themselves. The mere fact that we've even turned the Federal Executive Council to a contract awarding committee or meeting of some kind is part of the problem. But yes, this won't be the first time they'll be swearing to this oath, and we know that these oaths have not prevented them from committing the crimes that have befallen the Nigerian state. You soon find only in the aviation ministry we had former minister, was not Kema Chikwe, I think it was Stella Odua, has had a long-running battle with authorities over how much money was spent, over some scandal, The same thing went for Femi Faneka, who was before I'm also Minister of Aviation. That's just aviation, for example. Power. In 1999, after they took all the big goals of office, $2.7 billion naira to reform the power sector went into somebody's they said it was diverted into somebody's account. How many do I want to mention? Look at what even happened with Hadisiric and Air Nigeria.
I was going there. I'm going there actually. So
Hadisiric and Air Nigeria. The other one with Design Alice Madueke, Minister of Petroleum. Moses, all of them, one way or the other, have been embroiled, except for a very, very few who have been able to, keep their garments,
all right, then. Well, one would say, why don't we just swear by, traditional things, deities, and all of that?
I don't believe in this.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the inauguration now. We have Dele Alake
University
there.
of
His
Lagos.
portfolio has been read, and after which he
media
will take
and
his
political strategist
and
of over
sign
4
the dotted lines,
decades.
of course.
He is a fellow and former vice president of the Nigerian Guild
Well, can
of
we get the
Editors.
audio to the happenings at the
Honorable Alake
inauguration?
served as the Commissioner of Information and Strategy in Lagos State from 1999 to 2007 and was responsible for projecting, publicizing, and sensitizing Lagosians and the nation on all Lagos State government policies, programs, and projects. He was, before entering the public service, an editor and member of the editorial board at Concord Press Nigeria Limited, while also serving as a special advisor to the late, great Chief MKO Abiola of blessed memory. Until his appointment as a minister of the Federal Republic, he was most recently special advisor to His Excellency Mr. President on special duties, communication, and strategy. He will serve as the Minister of Solid Minerals Development. Minister designate from Enugu State, Chief Uche Jeffrey Nnaji, was born on the 16th day of June in 1963 in Nkanu West, local government of Enugu State. Chief Nnaji holds a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and microbiology from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. A very successful private sector player, he is also the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Signal Nigeria Limited, with commercial interests spanning construction and marine services. He is also a director of companies with interests in hydropower generation, crude oil pollution control, medical equipment, rice processing, as well as manufacturing. Chief Nnaji is a member of the Nigeria Association of Commerce, Industries, Mines, and Agriculture, NASIMA, a member of the Nigeria-Japan Chamber of Commerce, and a member of the Microbiology Association of Nigeria. He will serve as the Minister of Innovation, Science, and Technology. Minister designate from Gombe State, distinguished Senator Saidu Ahmed Alkali, was born on the 12th day of February 1969 in Duku, Borno State. He obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in economics from the University of Maiduguri and worked postgraduate with the Duku Local Government Council before later joining the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. He is a three-term senator representing Gombe North Senatorial District, serving between 2007 and 2023. The distinguished senator was also a commissioner for information in Gombe State from 2008 to 2010. He will serve as the Minister of Transportation. Minister designate from Imo State, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, hails from Oguta local government area of Imo State and is an accomplished professional with expertise in banking, finance, human resource management, information and communications technology, treasury management, and public administration. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in medicine and a bachelor's degree in surgery from the University of Benin. In her role as the Commissioner of Finance and Coordinating Commissioner of the Economy in Imo State, she supervised multiple ministries. She served also as a member of the Presidential Advisory Council. She will serve as the Minister of Industry, Trade, and Investment. Minister designate from Jigawa State, His Excellency Mohammed Badaru Abubakar was born on the 29th day of September 1962 and served as the Executive Governor of Jigawa State from 2015 to 2023. He is a graduate of accounting from the Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. He served as the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fertilizer and Gas, as well as the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Non-Oil Economic Development during the immediate past administration of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari. The former executive governor has an extensive record of experience in the private sector, a renowned industrialist who served as the chairman and president of a number of chambers of commerce. He is the CEO of the Talamis Group of Industries. His Excellency Mohammed Abubakar is a recipient of the prestigious National Award of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, and also an alumnus of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, MNI. He will serve as the Minister of Defense. At this juncture, I respectfully call upon the ministers designate whose citations have been read to step forward to take their oaths of office, following which they will take a photograph with His Excellency, Mr. President.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. I, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as a minister I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the laws, and always in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being and prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that I will exercise the authority vested in me as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so as not to impede or prejudice the authority lawfully vested in the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and so as not to endanger the continuance of the Federal Government of Nigeria, that I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct or my official decisions, that I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that in all circumstances I will do right to all manner of people, according to law, that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come known to me as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Now to just raise.
Okay. Well, there you have another batch. They have another batch of 5 being sworn in. and they've gotten
We
the president
commence.
a handshake. And they, well, Cyril, before we go on to witness another batch there, what do you think about you were one of those that talked about technocrats, having technocrats
Yes.
in this.
That the president said he was going to that the president said he was going to hire technocrats. So, for example, I would have expected that a ministry like the Blue Economy,
yeah.
and Ocean, the ideal thing to do was to have gotten an expert in that area to begin that
Do you see the essence of the creation of that ministry?
Of course I do. Nigeria has a lot of potential in terms of its marine endowments and ocean life, but we've not focused specific attention on it. In the past, what would have happened was to have an agency under the Ministry of Environment, for example, to just have an eye on it. But as it is today, it is essentially important that it is essential that we have a substantive ministry, which is what the world has, the world has done that world over. Ministry being that the president, in his own thinking, is elevating that function to be something that should be coming to the cabinet. But it's also good that, if you look at the way if every government has done it, every government has its own philosophy and wouldn't use the same ministries that the other governments use. So names keep on changing. For example, we have Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, which was what Abacha, I think.
What is even the essence of that when one talks about continuity?
No,
if the names continue to change,
it wouldn't be. This is something government is known for the world over. So the name changes, but the point is the functions. It's the functions that slightly differ, and then they know how to split and get things going.
All right, so let's get back to the inauguration ground and follow up on what's happening right now. Another minister designate is having her portfolio read. Let's take a listen.
Family medicine with over 20 years of experience in the field. Dr. Maria is also a member of the National Postgraduate Medical College and the West African College of Physicians. She was appointed Commissioner for Higher Education in Kano State in 2020. In that role, she oversaw the upgrade of the state's tertiary education system, for which she has received numerous awards. She is renowned as a strong advocate for women empowerment and girl education. This seasoned administrator will serve as the Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory. Minister-designate from Katsina State, Alhaji Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, was born on the 10th day of February 1963 and holds a bachelor's and master's degree in architecture from Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. He also holds a master's in business administration from the same institution. During his 5-year term at the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria from April 2017 to April 2022, he championed historic reforms that helped to reposition the nation's foremost mortgage bank on the path of transparency, profitability, efficiency, and innovation, making a wider impact as a social housing delivery institution. He will serve as the Minister of Housing and Urban Development. Also from Katsina State, Minister-designate, Barrister Hanatu Musa Musawa, was born on the first day of November in 1974. She possesses a multifaceted background as a lawyer, newspaper columnist, and immediate past special advisor to His Excellency, Mr. President, on culture, entertainment, and economy. She served as the deputy spokesperson and Deputy Director of Public Affairs of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. She holds a degree in law from the University of Buckingham in the United Kingdom and took an additional postgraduate master's degree in the legal aspects of marine affairs from the University of Cardiff in Wales. She also has a postgraduate master's degree in oil and gas law from the University of Aberdeen. She will serve as the Minister for Art, Culture, and the Creative Economy. Minister Designate from Kebbi State, His Excellency Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. Was born on the 26th day of December, 1961. Distinguished Senator Bagudu was the Executive Governor of Kebbi State from 2015 to 2023. He holds a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's degree in banking and finance. He also possesses a master's degree in international affairs and economic policy management from the prestigious Columbia University in the United States. Senator Bagudu worked as an economist at the Central Bank of Nigeria and also lectured at the University of Sokoto and was at the World Bank International Finance Corporation in Washington, D.C. between 1992 and 1993. He also represented Kebbi Central Senatorial District at the 7th Senate before his election as Executive Governor of Kebbi State in 2015. Senator Bagudu was chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum from 2019 to 2023 and chairman of the Presidential Task Force on Rice and Wheat in Nigeria. He went on to represent then President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Presidential Transition Council. This recipient of the National Award of Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, will serve as the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. I now respectfully ask the 5 ministers designate to step forward to take their oaths of office, following which they will share a photograph with His Excellency, Mr. President.
I, Hannatu Musa Musawa, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. I, Hannatu Musa Musawa, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as Minister I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that laws and always in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, and prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that I will exercise the authority vested in me as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria so as not to impede or prejudice the authority lawfully vested in the President.
Another batch of five taking their oath of office. Cyril, let's. What do you make of Dele Alake occupying a Ministry of Solid, yes,
mineral development? Well, I don't see him performing badly there, necessarily badly there. The reason being that this is someone who has been at the corridors of power for quite a long time. I mean, he spent 8 solid years.
But he's been known for a particular area.
No, of course. But there's also some
proficiency in that.
There's a name it's called in management where somebody who is not necessarily a part of that industry could be brought in, and the person can still deliver in terms of the fact that the person has got experience in statecraft, in governmental policy formulation and execution, in the fact that they can draw up timelines and they can look at things and tell us best practices. So for example, also the problem with Nigerian solid minerals is not new. There's a framework for lifting that sector to greater heights. But I think that what has been lacking hasn't really been expertise. It has rather been the political will to make things work. So if Dele Alake can bring that to the table and make a difference, I see that sector, growing in leaps and bounds. But if what bugged the people of the past also gets to bug him, then of course we would. But as I've said, what is really needed there now is the political will, and I think that the president and Alake have come a long way. So if the president feels that this is someone he trusts, this is someone who thinks like him, understands him, knows where he's going, and he wants to give him that particular portfolio to run for him, it only goes to show the sort of trust the president has in Dele Alake, and the fact that even if others failed, Alake cannot afford to fail. So that's my take on the president appointing Dele Alake as Minister of Solid Minerals. Except that just an addition, we've also seen the other ministers designate who have now taken their oath of office and now taking their oath of office. I mean, if we could even just see the image on the screen, you will find that for a number of them, there are no names. There are no names in the Nigerian public domain. They are very well known names. Hannatu Musawa, Atiku Bagudu. They are known politicians, politicians who Nigerians know their names. But it's one thing for you to be known. The question will be, what are you known for exactly? And in what particular way
Dr. Bosun Tijani. Hails from Itoko, Abeokuta South local government area of Ogun State, and is an accomplished technology and innovation entrepreneur. Born on the 20th day of July in 1977, Dr. Tijani holds a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Jos, a master's degree in information systems and management from Warwick University in the United Kingdom, and a doctorate in innovation and economic development from the University of Leicester in the United Kingdom. After a stellar career working for leading organizations in innovation and entrepreneurship across Europe, he co-founded Co-Creation Hub Nigeria in 2010 as Nigeria's first technology hub. Under his leadership as CEO of the Co-Creation Hub Nigeria, the institution expanded to become the largest Pan-African innovation center with offices in Kenya, Rwanda, and Namibia, with projects and activities in over 17 African countries. Dr. Tijani is a Desmond Tutu Leadership Fellow at the African Leadership Institute, London, amongst other fellowships. He is also a visiting professor at the Wits School of Governance in South Africa. He will serve as the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy. At this juncture, I respectfully invite the 5 named ministers designate to step forward to take their oaths of office, following which they will share a photograph with His Excellency, Mr. President.
Moving up from minister designate to actual ministers, taking the Holy Book according to their religion, swearing the oath of office. Now, we had this talk earlier about what they should swear by. You know, today is declared a public holiday in Lagos State and Ogun State. It's according to the Isheshe festival. I was saying this when we were off the air that why don't we just swear by local deities?
Well, Africa has been sufficiently. Africa and indeed Nigeria have been sufficiently Abrahamized, if that is what to use. So the Abrahamic religions, Islam and Christianity, are predominant. But I do believe that if anybody had gone there to say, I want to swear by Shango or Ogun, or
they would have allowed.
So, sure, of course.
That would have been quite the scene.
And that would have been, so they say, okay, what is the symbol of that religion? It's iron, it's water, whatever. So,
that would have been quite the scene.
But they, not to take anything away from it, Moses, this particular set, you see, it parades some of the core technocrats that you can find in this government. For example, yes, Bosun Tijani, for example, you saw the very impressive CV that was just read out about him. It was actually after his screening by the Senate that Wits University in South Africa, Wits for that rand, actually announced that he had been made a visiting professor. Or either after his nomination, after his clearance by the Senate, screened by the Senate, it was announced that they had appointed me. So this is, clearly an eminently qualified Nigerian who has straddled the entire strata of his profession, which is technology, the telecom sector. Technology, more like it.
So you think he's a good fit?
I'd like to think so, and hope that this is a confidence that he reposes that is worth being reposed in him. You also have Wale Edun, of course, a banker in his own right, who has been in Nigerian finance for a very long time, and of course he stated it. He has also tasted government government work when he was commissioner for finance for those 8 solid years under the Bola Tinubu governorship in Lagos State. So obviously he knows his watering hole so well, and of course so much more, so many more of them. I'm hoping that the president's selection will be effectively justified, ultimately justified. We know there have been concerns about people with disabilities who are not represented on the cabinet. Unfortunately, so I wish he would have given them a thought, because of course there are more than eminently qualified people with disabilities in Nigeria who have demonstrated their capacity for innovation and excellence in the private sector. I don't want to mention names so that it doesn't look like we're selling any of them out to the president, but the fact is that even the national president of the people with disabilities, I think Jake Epele is a well-known name in the Nigerian public and corporate space. The likes of Professor Douglas Anele and the rest of them, you know, people albinos, people in wheelchairs, but who are definitely doing so much and so well in their chosen endeavors. So, but I don't know why Mr. President didn't ever give them a thought.
Do you think it has something to do with being members of the party, being active members of the party?
Well, it doesn't have to be, because this president has somebody who is not a member of his party, who is in the PDP, who is in the Accord Party. You know, the man from Oyo State is not in the APC. He is a member of the I think of Accord Party, Adelabu. Former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, is a member of the PDP, and yet he's also been given a slot on the cabinet. So I don't see any reason why. In any case, the qualification for minister, as far as the constitution goes, or as far as Nigerian law goes, that you are a Nigerian. It didn't say whether you are from the same tribe as the president, or religion, or party, or anything like that.
You have to make your case actually.
Well, making the case is a relative term. Is a relative matter or question. How do you make your case? You are qualified. You have what it takes to be minister. The likes of Bosun Tijani and even Wale.
Who is on our screen right now?
Of course, yeah. Who is on our screen right now? A number of them. Several times we've seen governments go to bring, when Okonjo Iweala and Obezekwesili and Soludo then were brought into government. It wasn't because they were when government thought that they had need for what they could bring to the table, they are Nigerians. In fact, I remember that in the case of Okonjo Iweala, there was this issue about to be paid in dollars or not, and there was a court case over it and so on. So it's the president who needs to look and see who are the Nigerians who can get the job done, and then bring them on board.
All right, so let's go back to the inauguration ground, as we have another batch of 5 being called upon, and their portfolios being read. When we come back, we'll have Joy Eramosele in the studio. She will, continue with this. I am Moses Humphrey, and this is where I step aside. But let's continue with the broadcast there.
Of Ondo State. During his time in the House, he served as the chairman of the Committee on Niger Delta Development. He holds a bachelor's degree in electronics and communication engineering from London Metropolitan University, along with several other professional certifications. He will serve as the Minister of Interior. Minister designate from Osun State. His Excellency Adeboyega Oyetola was born on the 29th day of September 1954 in Iragbiji, Osun State. He served as the immediate past executive governor of Osun State. He holds a bachelor's degree in insurance and a master's in business administration from the University of Lagos in 1978 and 1990, respectively. Beginning his career as an area manager at Leadway Assurance Company Limited in 1980, the former state chief executive went on to found and own his own business, the Silver Trust Insurance Brokers Limited, in 1991. He has assumed board positions in leading organizations with diverse interests, including finance and real estate. Beginning his career in the public sector, in 2011, he became the Chief of Staff to the former governor of Osun State. He would go on to contest and win his election as the executive governor of Osun State between 2018 and 2022. His remarkable achievements as governor earned him several prestigious awards for his ability to manage the state's affairs without resorting to borrowing, while delivering substantial dividends of democracy. One of such was the World Bank's State's Fiscal Transparency, Accountability, and Sustainability Award for efficiency in public expenditure, amongst other awards. This recipient of the prestigious national honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, will serve as the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. Minister designate from Oyo State, Adebayo Adekola Adelabu. The distinguished recipient of the national honor, the Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, OFR, is an accomplished banker and financial consultant, born on the 28th day of September in 1970. Adebayo Adelabu was a former deputy governor of operations at the Central Bank of Nigeria, and in 2019 ran as the Oyo State gubernatorial candidate for the governing All Progressives Congress. Mr. Adelabu received a first-class degree in accounting from Obafemi Awolowo University and is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, as well as a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria and an associate member of the Institute of Directors of Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Mr. Adelabu has also taken up professional courses in various business schools, including Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, at the University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, and the University of London. He will serve as the Minister of Power. Minister designate from Plateau State, Right Honorable Simon Bako Lalong. His Excellency Simon Lalong served as the immediate past executive governor of Plateau State and was born on the 5th day of May in 1963 in Shendan local government area of the state. A graduate of the Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Dr. Lalong holds a bachelor's degree in law, 1990, and a master's in law from the University of Jos. In 1999, he contested and won election into the Plateau State House of Assembly and was re-elected in 2003. He was elected Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly in 2000, serving 2 terms in the House of Assembly. He would go on to serve 2 terms as the Executive Governor of Plateau State from 2015 to 2023. He would eventually be elected Chairman of the Northern Governors Forum in 2019, and of course, very recently served as the victorious Director General of the Tinubu-Shetima Presidential Campaign Council in the 2023 general elections. His Excellency Simon Lalong is a recipient of the National Honor of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, and he will serve as Minister of Labor and Employment. Minister Designate from the Great River State. His Excellency Barrister Chief Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, aside receiving the loudest applause so far today, was born on the 13th day of December 1967 and is a life bencher on the body of benchers, serving most recently as the 2-term Executive Governor of River State from 2015 to 2023. He was educated at the River State University of Science and Technology and the University of Port Harcourt, where he obtained his Bachelor of Laws degree and Bachelor of Science, Political and Administrative Studies, respectively. He would go on to be elected as the Executive Chairman of Obiakpo Local Government Area of River State from 1999 to 2007, where he would eventually be elected as the Chairman of Algon. He would go on to serve as the Chief of Staff in the River State Government House, Port Harcourt, between 2007 and 2011. He would then serve the nation as Minister of State for Education and eventually Acting Minister of Education during the administration of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike has received numerous awards and recognitions for his outstanding achievements as the Executive Governor of River State. He is a recipient of the National Award of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, and he will serve as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. I now respectfully invite the 5 named ministers designate to step forward to take their oaths of office, following which they will share a photograph with His Excellency, Mr. President.
do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. I, Simon Baklalong, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as a minister I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law, and always in the interest of sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being and prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will exercise the authority vested in me as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so as not to impede or prejudice the authority lawfully vested in the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and so as not to endanger the continuance of the federal government of Nigeria. That I will not allow my personal interests to influence my official conduct or my official decisions. That I will do, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That in all circumstances, I will do right to all manner of people according to law. That I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
This batch has two governors, the governor of River State, Nyesom Wike, where you saw the ovation and clap, and I'm sure you saw. So just a rundown of a few others. Just
of Sokoto State. He obtained a bachelor's degree in law at Usman Dan Fodio University, Sokoto in 1997 and was called to the Nigerian bar in 2001. He also holds a master's degree in energy security management from the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, as well as a master's in business management and leadership from the London Graduate School in the United Kingdom, as well as another master's degree in strategic studies from the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna. Barrister Goronyo was a two-time member of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, representing Goronyo constituency between 2007 and 2015, where he served as minority leader, deputy leader, and deputy speaker of the Sokoto State House of Assembly. He would later be appointed as the Commissioner of Solid Minerals and Energy Development, as well as the Commissioner of Information in the government of Sokoto State between 2015 and 2018. He will serve as the Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation. Minister Designate from Taraba State, Uba Megari Amadu, is a lawyer by profession and was born on the 6th day of September 1966 in Donga local government area of Taraba State. He was a former deputy governor of the state from 2003 to 2004, and he was also the managing partner at Dangari and Megari Solicitors and Advocates between 1992 and 1996. Uba Amadu was a board member of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency representing the Northeast and also served as Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in the Taraba State Government from December 2022 to March 2023. He will serve as the Minister of State for Steel Development. Minister Designate from Yobe State, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, was born on the 15th day of September 1956 in Bukarti, Yobe State. Distinguished Senator Gaidam has a bachelor's degree in accountancy from Ahmadu Bello University. He rose from an early start as an accountant in the defunct Directorate of Foods, Roads, and Rural Infrastructure to become the Senior Director in the Yobe State Ministry of Health. Before his eventual election as Deputy Governor and then Executive Governor of Yobe State, he also served as a commissioner in various ministries at that time. He presently represents Yobe East Senatorial District in the Nigerian Senate. He will serve as the Minister of Police Affairs. Minister Designate from Zamfara State, His Excellency Dr. Bello Mohammed Matawale was born on the 12th day of February 1962 in Maradun local government area of Zamfara State. He is the immediate past executive governor of the state. a recipient of the National Honor of the Member of the Order of the Niger, MON, in 2006, Dr. Matawale attended Vocational Training Center, Bunza, between 1980 and 1985 for his senior school certificate. As a man from humble beginnings, he began his service to the nation as a clerical officer in the old Sokoto State Ministry of Health in 1985, before he became a classroom teacher between 1990 and 1993. Between 1999 and 2003, he would serve as the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in Zamfara State, and in 2003 was elected as a member of the House of Representatives representing the Bakura Maradun Federal Constituency until 2015. He also served as a member of the Presidential Committee on Dialogue and Peaceful Resolution of Security Challenges in the North, before being elected as the Executive Governor of Zamfara State in 2019. His Excellency Dr. Matawale will serve as the Minister of State for Defense. Last but certainly not least is the Minister Designate from the Federal Capital Territory. Honorable Zephaniah Bitrus Chisalo was born on the 3rd day of April in 1970, after which he would go on to obtain a degree in education from the University of Jos, along with various certificates across the private and public sectors. He eventually represented Abuja Municipal Buhari Federal Constituency of the FCT in the 7th and 8th Assemblies. He would go on to serve as the chairman of the Abuja Municipal Area Council for 6 years. The holder of the National Honor of Member of the Order of the Federal Republic, MFR, will serve as the Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. At this juncture, I respectfully invite the 5 named ministers designate to step forward to take their oaths of office before sharing a photograph with His Excellency, Mr. President.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. I, Bello Muhammad Goranyo, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as a minister I will discharge my to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law, and always in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being, and prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will exercise the authority vested in me as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so as not to impede or prejudice the authority lawfully vested in the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and so as not to endanger the continuance of the Federal Government of Nigeria. That I will not allow my personal interests, my official conduct, or my official decisions, that I will do to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that in all circumstances I will do right to all manner of people according to law, that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
The ninth and final batch of the ministers being sworn in. We have Bello Goronyo, Minister of State for Water Resources, Uba Madu, Minister of State for Steel Development, Ibrahim Gaidam, Minister of Police Affairs, Bello Matawale, Minister of State for Defense, Tefanaya Chisalo, Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. That's the ninth batch of the ministers being sworn in right here at the banquet hall of the Astor Villa, presided over by President Bola Tinubu. 45 of them in all. They came in batches of 5, from the very first to the second to the third, and now the ninth and the final batch before the president will eventually make his remarks. So as much as time will allow, we'll run through some of the names and the people, the ministers have now been sworn in. And just before now, we had Lubumi Ojo, Adegboyega Oyetola, Adebayo Adelabu, Simon Lalong, Nyesom Wike, in different ministries from Interior, Marine and Blue Economy, Power, Labor and Employment, and the FCT. We also had Aliyu Abdullahi, Minister of State for Agriculture, Food Security, Mohammed Idris, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Ishaq Salako, Minister of State for Environment, Wale Edu, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Bosu Tijani, Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. We had Tanko Sununu, Minister of State for Education, Shaib Abubakar, Minister of Steel Development, Dr. Tunji Alausa, Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Lola Adejan, Minister of Tourism, Ima Sulaiman Ibrahim, Minister of State for Police Affairs. We also had Abubakar Bagudu, Minister of Budgets and National Planning, Hanatu Musawa, Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Ahmed Dangewa, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Mairiga Mahmood, Minister of State for the FCT, Mohammed Gwalzo, Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development. We also had Badaru Abubakar, Minister of Defense, Dr. Doris Ihite, Minister of Trade and Investment, Saidu Al-Khali, Minister of Transportation, Uche Naji, Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Sadila Lake, Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Abubakar Momo, Niger Delta Development. Mr. Festus Keyamo, Aviation and Aerospace Development. Mr. John Eno, Minister of Sports Development.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done.
We also had Dr. Betta Edu, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. So any moment from now, we're expected to hear from the President, who will be giving his remarks as part of this very important ceremony where ministers have now been sworn in and the cabinet is set to work with the President. So we'll be running through a list of the ministers that have so far been sworn in. This is Channels Television broadcasting from the nation's capital, Abuja.
Following His Excellency Mr. President's remarks and after the national anthem, newly inaugurated members of the Federal Executive Council are hereby requested to join His Excellency Mr. President, His Excellency the Vice President, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation for an inauguration photograph on the other side of that curtain. As they proceed to do so, I kindly request that everyone else here present remain seated during that photograph session. Also, I kindly request for all newly sworn in members of the Federal Executive Council to, at some point later in the day, proceed to the Permanent Secretary General Services Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to pick up their appointment letters. Without further ado, it is my distinct honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to provide his first remarks to the new council.
Please be seated. The light won't come on. The Vice President, the Senate President, the Speaker House of the Representatives, the National Chairman of our Progressive Party, our party, Dr. Gandhi. renewed hope agenda. And these are the objectives that have inspired the selection of a lot of these distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are ministers by now. Minister of Federal Republic, you are. Not minister of a region or minister of a particular state. Since my inauguration on May 29, I have taken steps to begin implementing the agenda upon which I campaigned and for which I received the mandate of Nigerian people. With the inauguration of ministers today, we are about to accelerate our governing efforts to move forward, realizing our best aspiration for Nigeria. It's all about a great team, and I believe we have them here. It is high honor to be chosen to serve as a minister in the Federal Executive Council of our beloved republic. With such high honor comes tremendous responsibility. In this moment of abundant promise and peril in equal measure, all of you who have been sworn in have been called to distinguish yourself. It is me who know you and delegates this authority. But the greatest number of Nigerians are highly expectant of delivery and accountability and transparency. Nigeria expects that you will serve with integrity, dignity, and deliver. I will hold you to that standard. We all promise Nigerians. Your assignment began immediately. As your country honors you today, by this call to service, you must each work to make yourselves worthy in the eyes of God and all our nation's people. Your highest obligation is to restore public faith in government so that our people can once again believe that the right hands, the government, can show and believe in you, that the government can be a positive force for transformation and a vehicle for collective progress of this country. I congratulate you and welcome you to the administration of renewed hope. I wish you success in this new assignment. We are in this boat. If it is a vehicle, and I am the driver, the entire Nigerians are behind, sitting and watching as you and I navigate this vehicle. we must hold each other responsible. We have to do the job to meet the expectation of all Nigerians. As I said earlier on, you are not a minister of a particular state, colony, region, or ethnic nationality. You are a minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. God be with you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
The national anthem.